Hey Cheyenne, how you doing? Good work. The work you've done throughout the weeks is really, you really have worked hard, and I think each iteration is much better than the last. So the forward progress is remarkable, and I think that culminating in a very, very good presentation here. Now I've got a few comments, and I've got an area of concern. Really, only one area of concern that is going to affect your grading, and that's going to be something that would be considered to be not anything really major, but I'll get to that in 1 second. The important thing is I want to go through the presentation as if you were sitting in front of me. We're going through it together. So I'll just give you like this in-person kind of critique as if I was looking at this right in front of you and I was giving you the thoughts off the top of my head. Now, the first thing I'm going to say is that last week you had your logo cut off like that to fit the graphics. And remember I said you don't want to do that. Well, this week you have your Olympic rings right in your logo. Now, your logo is your branding, and your branding should not alter anytime, any place, anywhere, under any circumstances, unless you have that noted in your logo development, which you don't here. So in your logo development here, you're showing right here, that's your logo. Nowhere are you showing the Olympic rings within the logo. So I think that you're breaching your own branding rules by placing the rings inside the logo in your front cover. I would not recommend doing that. As a matter of fact, I don't even think I would bleed the logo. I think I would show the logo in its pristine state. Okay, first spread. The table of contents is in a box, and I always recommend students don't place things in boxes. And the reason being is because you want all of your design elements to have a relationship with one another and to have a relationship with the page. Right now, table of contents and the actual table of contents are separated from the page because they are placed in a box that is of a different color. So you're telling the viewer that this and this have a very limited relationship, which they don't. They should live, work, and breathe together as one, being part of the same composition. Therefore, I recommend not placing your type behind a box. Okay, first spread looks fantastic. Your spreads look very, very good. One thing I would recommend is trying to work your color, and I would say the logical color would be green. One of these greens, one of these blues, or the red into your typeface, into your subheads and your headlines. Headlines being these guys right here, and subheads being these guys right here. Now, as you've got that headline, but your presentation doesn't start with a headline. So basically, you've got, let me see, promotional elements, brand inspiration, logo. You have these headlines. Maybe over here, instead of starting out with why Budapest, you could start a headline choosing Budapest as one of your main heads and then go into your subheads. I think that would make sense, starting the presentation on a headline as opposed to a subhead, and then working into headlines later on in the presentation. Does that make sense? Okay. Let me see, back to the first couple of spreads. Sorry to be jumping around like this. I'm probably making you dizzy. Sorry about that. I don't mean to do that. But anyways, let's go ahead. So color, subheads, and also page numbers too. I would also include page numbers in the lower corners. You've got your table of contents, but you don't have corresponding page numbers. So even if the viewer did want to go to your table of contents, say, let me see, I want to find those promotional elements. We're on page 30 to 35, and they come over here and they go, oh wait, there's no page number. So now I'm stuck flipping through to try to find those, which is what you're trying to avoid by including the table of contents in the first place. Okay, so the one thing I've got over here, just keep going through this. I think that your character count might be a little bit long. I haven't counted, but I'm going to guess that you're probably well over 80 characters. And what you're looking for is anywhere between 49 and 70, maybe. So you're borderline, but I think that it's not bad at all. I mean, if it's long, it's just by a few characters, so no big deal. I just wanted to bring that to your attention. So back to typography. Type looks good. I think that you've got some unusual spacing for your justified type. justified alignment, but for the most part, it's handled very good. I did see some, oh, right there's a space, an unusual space right there. It's looking to add space to justify, but it's adding space in weird places. If you are interested, I've got some settings in InDesign that can help rectify the unusual spaces caused and rivers caused by justified type. And let me know if you want me to share that with you. I thought I saw a typographic widow. Let me go through this really quickly. Yep, I did, right there. I don't know if that's the only one. Typographic widow, that's a word that resides on a line by itself. You don't want to do that. I think that's the only one. It is. Okay. Okay, so back to the top, and again, I'm sorry to be flipping around like this and making you dizzy. Anyway, so the page mechanics itself, I think the pages look good. They've got a nice inviting posture. This page, it's a nice page. Now, if we jump over here and pull a guide out, we're at 8.5. We show that the images span, they run to the center gutter, and they bleed off the side of the page. So this is a pretty interesting page. Likewise, and you've added some variation here. So you've got 3 images here, then here you've got one on top of the other, one bleeding. Over here you've got one that's just bleeding. So you got some wonderful variation, and I think that really adds a lot of interest to the viewer and makes the viewer want to continue turning pages. I notice in some areas you have a tendency to want to put things in boxes. I already talked about that within the table of contents area, but over here, all your pictograms are in boxes. And again, you want them to have an open relationship with the page itself. So again, over here, boxes. And then I think there was, oh yeah, right over here, boxes. Okay, and then my main, oh, and there's also a type block. This is in a box too, so that's really unusual. My main concern, now these are all minor things, okay? These are all quick fix minor things. My main concern is this, is that we need in any presentation, specifically a multi-page presentation like this, you want to establish a cadence and a rhythm for the viewer. And one of the ways to do that, I think the best way to do that is to create consistency in the alignment in the headlines and the body copy. And I'm gonna just place my cursor over here on the W. So the bottom of my cursor is at the baseline of the W. My cursor is at the left margin. So as we flip through, you see your type jumps. Okay, let's go to the next page. Now it's over on the side of the spread, so let's not count that. But here it jumps again. So if we go back here and we see that even jumps from where it was before. So let's start again. Okay, now watch my cursor and watch your type. Okay, see how it jumps up? Okay, it jumps up again. This time it jumps up even higher. Now you got 3 different areas, but it jumps up, the top of it jumps up to a different location. Likewise here, it's in a different location. Likewise here, 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 here. So every page your type is starting in a different location. Let's take a look at the right-hand side of the spread. So we have our type right here. First text block is located right here. Watch my cursor. We move down, see it jumps up there. Next page, it jumps up and over. Now it really moved. Now it jumps up again, and it keeps moving around. And the reason I bring this up is because in order to add a good cadence, timing, and rhythm for the viewer, you want your type to reside in the same location on every page. And that what this will do is it will assist the viewer every time they turn the page. Their eye doesn't get startled or jump, the stochastic movement of the eye having to jump from where they're expecting the headline to start up or down or over. So it creates a wonderful cadence through the page to have your type, your text blocks start at the same location on every page. So for that reason, I would definitely recommend that you create some consistency there. That's my only main concern regarding the technical mechanics of the page itself. So other than that, I think you've done a fantastic job. Good job with your fifth element items, and everything's being held together by that background pattern, that fifth element item right there. So really good job. Even though your graphics are somewhat dissimilar here and here, you still have the background pattern. It's the glue that's holding them together. So good job. These look fantastic. Really good job there. All right, so I'm going to say that you have a very, very successful presentation. I would say that the only real concern for me is, well, there's two, is that you have a tendency to want to place things in boxes, and that's not even a major concern. Major concern is the way the type jumps around the page, and I would expect that to be the only deduction that I can see in the presentation. All right, it's come a long way. Great job. You should be proud of yourself. You've worked very hard, and it definitely shows. Okay, any questions, comments, concerns, or other, please feel free to let me know. Thank you, Cheyenne.